If you ask him how it happened, chances are he'll say that a huge part of it began at a place we like to call Sunset Hill. And no, Sunset Hill isn't the real name of a place. I don't think that place has much of a name. But it was where the three of us stopped to watch the sunset one day and went lost. And a strange series of events happened. So my two friends kinda had a fight.
I bit him. On the shoulder.
I mean, no one was supposed to get mad at anyone. We're supposed to be family. We're not meant to fight with each other. And he got mad. Except when Michael Allen gets mad, he gets extremely proud. He acts like everybody's beneath him, and he just doesn't speak. And so he just stormed out of the car really, really angry. And we're not talking hoity-toity, fibbly-gibbly-dibbly proud. We're talking shake the dust off your feet sort of dissociation. It was awful. And so I went out and tried to speak to him. I tried to make him feel better. I tried everything. I tried to appeal to his sense of guilt. I tried to make him feel sympathetic towards Anna. I tried to make him be the better man, appeal to his sense of pride, but nothing worked. And then I did what God had been prodding me to do the entire time. I basically reminded him that as children of God, and after everything that Jesus has done for us, there's no excuse for us to fight anymore. We have nothing but love and encouragement and forgiveness to say to each other. And besides, if Christ can love and die for a bunch of people who hated him, die a gruesome, violent, terrible death that he did not deserve, then Michael Allen can turn around and talk to his friend in the car.
The three friends had spent many happy hours in the locales of Eastwood, eating at restaurants like Ginger and Shallott's, fine dining at Yogaberry, cloud spotting on a hill. But there was one place where only Louisa ventured to go, until one day.
So after the events of Sunset Hill, Michael and I were hanging out at Eastwood at a barbecue in this park, and there's this awesome climbing play equipment that we call Rice Mountain that I'm king of. Usually Michael says that climbing play equipment is beneath his dignity and that it's just for kids, but he's wrong. I'm ready! Rice Mountain! Come up here!
What?
I said you can't come up here!
Okay.
No! 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 It's mine! It's mine! It's 'cause I'm king! And this time, he went insane. He climbed up Rice Mountain. There was no tomorrow. He just streaked up it faster than me. He had a string of colourful balloons behind him. What? What? I'm king of Rice Mountain! We decided that further commentary on Michael Allen's initial character was necessary to attempt to understand his dramatic metamorphosis. Passing through Eastwood, we decided to speak to two significant members of the locality.
The first time I met Michael Allen, that was a long time ago now, actually. So this was 2011, before uni started, first year of uni for me, and that was the EU launch day. That's right. Michael Allen was actually one of the first people I met in the ACES faculty, and immediately my first impression was that he was completely out of place. Like, he was what, this 50-something-year-old white guy dressed in a suit in a faculty of, young Asian people just running around doing whatever they do, right? Like, completely out of place. I don't know what he was doing there. I was just totally confused by the fact that he was present at that place on that day. Well, you have to commend that man's dress sense. He's always in a suit. I have a theory, right, that, don't tell anyone else, that he's actually a suit dressed in a man. Think about it.
Michael, first impression of Michael, I guess, first time I saw him, I'd have had about 7 shots of coffee within the last hour. I wasn't exactly in a stable state of mind. But when I did see him, they were sitting, him and Louisa were kind of lying on the side of a hill, with, a bubble of, PDA, which could almost be visualized. It was disgusting, really. And, so being the good citizen I am, I went, to sit about 10 meters away from them, to start throwing things at them, to awaken them to the fact that there was this visible bubble of PDA just enveloping the both of them. Sadly, that didn't work. And I fear that, this bubble will continue to persist for a while, just as, a parasite continues to live in the human body unless radical action is taken to remove it. Michael Allen is a man of good taste. He enjoys good coffee. He recognizes the truth that hipsters and hippies are not people. They're something, but they're not people who make good coffee, good strange baked goods. And he does enjoy a solid hymn or two. On the other hand, he's still disgusting, with all that visible PDA and sappiness. And I mean, sometimes I wonder if he's simply made of cheese and it simply leaks out of his body once it reaches room temperature. But yeah. What I like about Michael Allen, I mean, there's many things, but I think the thing that needs to be said is that profound and natural, may I add, hatred for the hipster. They have deceived the world, I think, They were not of the world. They were clearly from the abyss to which they must return. And whilst they do make good coffee, that does not redeem them, unfortunately, just as, all good works are like, dirty rags before the Lord. And so I think, it really, that's really the important thing, that, he recognizes that these hipsters, they're not people.
So there came a point in time where I figured, Michael and we do have chemistry between us. But it wasn't until he asked me out that I started freaking out about the ways our relationships could change if we became a thing and we split up, or if we didn't become a thing at all and we might have to go our separate ways. And I was a bit afraid of how our friendship would be affected. So we ate dinner at West Ryde Macca's, and then after that, he asked me out in my car. So this is the Macca's that Michael and I went to right before he asked me out. He had a McFlurry, I had a chicken nugget meal with barbecue sauce, my favorite. And before this he texted me saying, Louis, can we please hang out? And I kind of didn't want to, I didn't really feel like it, but I went along anyway. We had dinner together here, it was quite nice. And then at the end, in my car, outside Coorong, he asked me out. I was shocked. I was completely shocked. I had never been asked out before, and so I really had to take time to think about what I was going to say, where we might be going with this, think about the good things and bad things that might come of it. This lookout is basically where he, Anna, and I came when we got lost one day. We were driving in the car, driving around in circles and circles, screaming into each other's faces, and then we finally got here. And we noticed just how beautiful it was. So we had to stop and take a look for ourselves. And it was on this very bench that we three sat and sung a hymn together. I think it was How Deep the Father's Love for Us. So after my baptism, he and I came over here and we talked through our thoughts and our feelings. We talked about how I told him basically that I was messed up, that I was broken, that there's no way anything really good can come out of me apart from the grace of God. And he understood that. And yeah, he and I just basically talked about how, apart from the grace of God, we wouldn't even consider this relationship. Like, if our relationship could not encourage each other or point each other to God, then there'd be no point in doing it, really. And he was all for that, and I greatly respected that. And so yeah. Viewer, I dated him.